Hi everybody, I'm here reporting on today's game at Easter Road where Rangers drew 3 each with Hibs. And for once, I'm going to be positive. I'm not depressed, I'm not angry, I'm not disgusted. I'm going to be positive because this was an undeserved draw from Hibs. I mean, we really should have won that game. And middle to front, we look more like what we expect Rangers teams to be. So that's fine. Obviously, at the back, we're not good right now, but we were dodgy even when we had the full complement of defensive players. Now we're down to bare bones. We're even worse in that respect. But put that aside, I'm reasonably happy with what I saw today. It was a terrible game in terms of the conditions, torrential rain. From our point of view, made worse by the fact that Cardinal Beaton was the referee. But put that aside, got to give credit for both teams in the dreadful conditions. Open game, end to end stuff, entertaining. Both sides scored three. Both sides should have scored more, could have scored more. Wee bit of controversy as well. Just about everything you could expect from a decent top league game. So well done to both teams. I'm disappointed, obviously, that we threw away 2 points because we did really throw away 2 points. But as I said after the Celtic game, beating them, losing 2 points to Hibs, it doesn't matter in the great scheme of things, and look at the big picture. Celtic will win the league, no doubt about that. So we can only hope to get better and better and get more confident and bring on the newer players so that they feel like proper Rangers players and can actually do the business against the Hibs and the Motherwells of this world and maybe get us a bit further in Europe and hopefully win the cup. That's all we can hope for. So I'm not downcast after today's game because I really think we should have won it. I mean, for once, the manager showed a bit of common sense by starting with the same team that had demolished Celtic. So well done to him for not tinkering about. And within 20 minutes, we were 2-0 up. Totally dominant, playing great stuff, lovely passing, forward movement, forward passing, quick, getting into great positions. 2 goals up. By half time, we could have been 3 or 4-1 up, but it was not to be, obviously. So great start to the game. First half hour, Hibs came into it a bit after that. They got that goal before half time, so that made all the difference, obviously. But we were playing really well, so nobody could have complained about what we'd seen to that point. Unfortunately, too often in this season, this is what's happened. We dropped off a bit, took the foot off the gas, tried to keep possession rather than do dangerous things with it. Hibs got back into the game. So at 2-1, anything could have happened. And of course, thanks to Cardinal beating the ref, it did happen because he gave a penalty that was never a penalty. And I think it's one of these ones. Half the Rangers haters will say, oh, definite penalty. Hibs fans will say that. But the Rangers fans know that was never a penalty. Only Beaton would have given that, and VAR obviously wouldn't intervene either. Beaton too frightened after the publicity he's had from the Celtic fans over the last few years. He's never going to not award that kind of thing. So I was glad to hear the manager after the match saying it was never a penalty as well and complaining about it. Don't let them away with it. Too often in the past we just shrug it off, let them away with it. They'll do it again. So don't let them away with it. It wasn't a penalty. When you saw it, the ball to the right, into the box. Hadji comes in from the right. I can't remember the guy's name who was Cadden, I think maybe, who was the player running onto it. Hadji was actually nearer the ball than the Hibs guy. Hadji put his leg between the ball and the Hibs guy. The Hibs guy put his arm across Hadji's throat practically, but Hadji had his arm across the Hibs guy's chest, so 50-50 there. But usually when two players collide like that, the one who's got his body nearer the ball gets the foul. And if it was in the penalty area, it would have been a penalty for the guy with the leg nearer the ball or between the ball and the guy behind him. But oh no, Beaton sees it as a foul on the Hibs guy who didn't touch the ball and who was 50-50 side by side with the Rangers guy. So when it's a 50-50, when in doubt, as the Lawwell School of Refereeing teaches them, give it against Rangers. Boyle duly dispatched the penalty really well, 2 each, game on, blah blah blah, all the rest of it. What was it? Iggerman could have had his hat trick earlier than he actually did, because he had a great move, great shot, and the goalkeeper did a brilliant save, diving to his left to tap it by for a corner kick. So that could have been his hat trick earlier than it actually was. When he did get it, what a hat trick it was. Left foot, right foot, header. The first goal came when Hadji cut it back to Iggerman. He took a nice run and just first timed it into the net with his left foot. The second goal came with the same idea, only this time it was by Rami, who chipped a lovely cross right into the middle, onto his head, basically a great header into the net. And the third goal, when it did come, was from Czerny this time, cutting it back. Iggerman, great movement, this time with his right foot, first time into the net. Great hat trick. But when it was 3 each, he could have actually won the game for us, because just a clearance booted out of our area. I think it was King, the substitute, who did it. He tussled with the man mountain Bashiri in our half, in the centre circle in our half, managed to hassle him, get away with it, ran forward. Bashiri every inch of the way with him, right into their box, and a quick spurt got him a yard or two ahead of Bashiri, shrugging him off, and his left foot shot just hit the base of the post and went past, and that would have been the winner. That would have been 4-3, and a deserved 4 goals for Iggerman, who might have actually had 5, but it would have been a fantastic 4 goals and the winning goal, but it was not to be. Just one of these games, obviously no luck whatsoever, everything sort of going against you, really. Even their third goal from a corner kick, when you see it on TV, and none of the pundits bothered to mention this, but Kelly on his line, I think it was Gale, the centre forward, he's a foot in front of him with his back to him, stopping him from running off his line, just holding him back, pushing against him, so that when the ball comes in, credit to Bashiri, he rose high above everybody else and put a decent header into the net. But Gale kept the keeper from jumping right until the very last second, when it didn't matter because Bashiri had already got onto the end of the cross and it goes in the net. But Gale, credit to him, that was obviously a ploy worked out by the manager. Obstruct the goalkeeper, don't let him jump, and that's what he did, and that's why it went into the net. You shouldn't really complain about Kelly not going for that, because he couldn't go for it thanks to the obstruction. So now that was annoying that they got away with that. They got a penalty that was never a penalty. We had that chance right at the end to take the deserved 3 points. We didn't. But as I say, let's look on the bright side. We look good middle to forward, going forward, great passing. What a player we've got in Iggerman. Hat trick, could have been 5. He was a one-man battering ram up there. He did everything. He's got good ball control. He's got strength. He can see an eye for a goal. I think if he continues like this, he's going to be better than Alfredo was. And the bonus is he's got a very calm temperament. He's not going to lose the plot like Morelos used to do. So we can look forward to hopefully at least another season of him banging them in, because he'll be even better the more games he gets. So that's the brightest thing I can say about it all. On the downside, Sterling had to go off injured before the third equaliser. So that was annoying. The position we're weakest in right now with injuries. Even the stand-in for the 2 central defenders is now injured, and apparently the booking proper got near the end. It means he's due for a suspension. So we really are in trouble there. Leon King came on, and it must be about 10 years since he played a game for us, so that's not good either. But I think he's okay actually. But we really need to get a central defender in, maybe even 2 now in the window, and forget about strikers and midfielders. We don't need them right now. We need 2 central defenders, and we really need Suter back as soon as possible. So I'm not downcast, although we've thrown away 2 points. It was a good game. We played well for most of it. All the stats were in our favour, apart from goals. So and look forward to Dundee because we should beat them if we play anywhere near the standard we played today.